Okay, good morning. We are in Siman Kufan Ches. We are here, Sifvav. Yom Shemiskansim Bo of the Kochavim, Lahamid Lahem Sar, Inauguration Day, Makrivin and Makalsin, Eloheim, and they're sacrificing things to their gods. Yom Chagam, who is considered Chag, Eyu Kashar Chagehem, and it's also to do business, and all these things. Zayim, he's making a personal celebration. He's making his own personal Thanksgiving. And he is praising like his birthday, and the day he shaves his beard, or cuts his ponytail, the Yom Sha'alabo Min Hayam, or if he got out of a long voyage, the Yom Sheyatzav Beis HaSurim, or he got out of jail, the Yom Sha'asabo Mishta Levno, or he made a wedding for his son. But also Ish Bilvad, it's only also that guy and that day. You don't have to worry about before nor after.
So you cannot give him a gift on that day?
Right. You shouldn't bring a wedding gift thing. We'll see a bit more about that in a few minutes. Just a small side point about Thanksgiving. We'll have to go back and forth about it, but because it's more on the Shad Chukas Hagoyim. And here, it's not. To call it a Chag, or any other, the Thanksgiving or other secular holidays. Obviously, it doesn't apply. Martin Luther King Day, whatever. Any of these things, Memorial Day, these things don't necessarily apply. Unless you're, they're having services and things. I don't know, whatever. But Thanksgiving is a Shiloh. Is a Shiloh discussed. Moshe discusses it, and other poskim, discuss about. Is it an actual Chag, or is it mutter to celebrate? Is it not? Is it completely secular? Is it, is it based in, when the Pilgrims survived? They made a Yom Hoidah to their made a Yom Hoidah. So that's how it started. The question is, what in the time after that is it? What is the Chag? And Moshe was makel to do a Suda on there somewhat, but not have to celebrate the actual thing. I have to look it up. Like I said, it might be more of a Shal Chukas Ha'akum than over here, because it's not. If you're in a place where they do, like I've heard in like Boston or whatever, where they celebrate it like religiously, then yeah, it's going to be an issue in that place. The rest of the country where they just want to go ahead and eat turkey and watch the game. So then I don't know. It's a different issue. Hey, Ches Ein Yom Achag Aser if the it's only also for those who are actually are worshiping. Right? They have the holiday spirit, as they call it in America. They keep it, or they minig, or they cover the star because it's fun. The cover the star. They don't really, not really religious. Hooray! It's supposed to go ahead and to do business. Test also the kanes of base ha'avik kachavim b'yom chago. It's also to go into the house litin lo shalom. It's also to go into the house of a kachavim on the day of his chag and give him shalom. Right, and matzah b'chutz mutter. If you find him outside, you can say shalom of al yomer lo b'safarafa b'kover rosh, but you should say it in a very subdued manner, not like hey, happy holiday or anything like that. But to go into his house, even b'safarafa b'kover rosh is a problem, and this is a problem no matter No matter if if nowadays if they do sell, they don't celebrate, whatever. It's an issue. One of the reasons Shach brings is that it's dafka shalom is the problem. Saying shalom to him because it's a Shem Kodesh Baruch Hu. But other brachos, he says, um, it would be, we'll see in a minute. Also, different nakuda would be okay. And so it could be it's dafka. The shalom part is the issue.
And other days of the year, it's not a problem.
We'll see. Let's see. Sefyod. Aser lichvo lo shalom lo ovik kachavim. It's aser to answer shalom to an ovik kachavim lo oilam, no matter when.
Lichvo means to just
answer. Yeah, to answer.
To say shalom shalom when you respond.
We'll see. As far as I understood, it's the point is answering, because you'll see lefichach tov lahaktim lo shalom. It's good to be maktim shalom. Kadesh lo yaskel avi kachavim yitzarich lichvo lo shalom. That could be you right. It could be you answering shalom shalom. But the point is not saying it twice. The point is saying Hashem Hashem of shalom. To a non-Jew.
Why should be allowed to be mocking?
So that's the thing, is that what is this thing about the being makdim shalom? Could be it's you shouldn't answer. Right, it could be you're right. Lahachpil, maybe it could be you're right that you have to that you say it twice.
That's how I would.
Yeah, that could be that's the issue. But the main, what the shaila they bring is that they say Yochanan ben Zakkai was makdim shalom to everyone, to every person in the shop. So how's that mutter, right? So the Taz says that the other Achronim say that the pshat is that he didn't use the shem shalom. He said hi, good morning, how's it going, whatever. And that's okay. The problem is giving him a bracha with a shame. So saying shalom is a bracha, saying you should have shalom and whatever. I don't know what the din of salam aleikum is, whether that is the same din, because it's the name shalom but in Arabic. So I don't know what the din with that is. But the point is over here is that in the Gemara it says that the Amoraim were very makbid to be makbid shalom if they know no guy's going to say shalom. Now, in America it's not a problem because they say good morning, all these things, they not good morning. Sorry, I'm thinking a different story. Good morning, and things like that. Yeah, there's the famous story, the Holocaust story. I think it was the Bluzher Rebbe, how he used to take a walk around and every morning and say good morning to one of the guys, one of the farmers. And when he was in the camps, so when it turns out this farmer or whatever was doing the selections, and when he got up to him, he said good morning, and the guy answered, oh, good morning, Rabbiner, and he pointed it to the right. So it's a famous story of the Bluzher Rebbe. So there is something to that. But Al Panim, that's okay. It's really just saying shalom. So in this country, to say to say shalom, to having to say shalom to a non-Jew, it's more complicated. It's better to just avoid saying shalom. Whatever. It's better to avoid it. Yud Aleph. Those who are traveling, doing a pilgrimage, or going to the, for their chag. Also, lases imahim. Right here you can find it, because around there's certain times of the year you'll have a lot of going to to their Bethlehem and all these places or whatever. So you should be careful if they're going. Lases imahim v'abayim mutarim, but the ones who are returning, it's mutter. It's mutter. Because if they were connected to each other. So then, it might be that they would go back.
Shurim meaning socially shurim or physically tied together?
It doesn't mean physically tied together. I was a little bit unclear as to what the pshat over here is. So it's in the Gemara. But I think we're choshesh that if that if
They're talking a lot with each other and things like that. Maybe they'll just let them back.
right. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I'm not schlepped the Yisrael back, or maybe they would return to the city, and therefore, maybe he went out to greet him. Maybe I think that could be the pshat is that they he would go. He went out because I saw his friend, and maybe he only went out to greet him, but he's going back to the city. I mean, it's not buying. It's going back and forth. Aval im Yisrael holech sham b'halicha. If a Yisrael he himself is going on the way, mutter lasis imo. Even though he's going to the city, it's okay to do business with him.
With the Jew.
Right. Ubechazara also, however, bechazara it's also the opposite, because he's getting money from the chag, he's getting money from the Yoreh, whatever it is, and that money is coming from non-kosher. Source says, also, and if he's a mshumid, then definitely even going is.
In other words, the going or going there to spend their money, and the Jew going there to make money. Is that the idea? So he's on the way back. You have a problem with that?
One second. The shach to lachzor. Right. That.
What is that? Back to love.
Maybe I'm not on the other side. Maybe let's move on. Maybe I'll look it over for next year. I'll just explain it a little bit more, get it clear. We'll go over it. But I think the point is the general point is not you shouldn't be doing business. It's like Yom Kodem Yom Chagam is doing business with people on the way to the Avodah Zarah. But the way the way back is okay. I'll get the pratim. I'll look it over again. Another Yebez. So now the Beis basically takes the whole simon and says, well, some say that everything is talking about back when Avodah Zarah, actual Avodah Zarah. They don't really know Avodah Zarah. Lefichach muter lasis v'lasis imahen b'yom chagam all the dinim are bottle nowadays, and I don't know if this is not only referring to nowadays in Europe, like the Ramah usually says. This is talking everywhere. You don't really, it's only minig of the same biyadehem. So therefore, it's not a problem to do business. But the Shach points out, but to go ahead and go into his house and to give him shalom or whatever, that's still also. But to do business, the business is okay. Hagad, and even if the money goes to the priests, they don't really use it to go ahead and make takrevis. They line their pockets with it or whatever. And it doesn't. It's not the same fervor that they used to, and the priests are very happy to keep the money. There's also Ava. If we're not going to do business with them, we close our stores, all the bars and all the things and whatever. We close the bit varziach, whatever. We close all the stores, on the day of their chag. There's going to be Ava v'anushurim b'neihem. Mitzvichim lasis himayim, and we have to do business with them kol Shana, because there's going to be problems. L'chein Im nichnas le'ir u'matzam smeichim b'yom chagam. If you go into the city and they're having a holiday, yisamech imahem, you are allowed to go ahead and celebrate to a certain degree with them. Yishum eva d'havik machnif lehem. Again, because a certain amount of danger involved. The Ava Ben, different levels of Ava, but Ava is the guy, can turn around and make a pogrom, turn around and do a terrorist attack, things like that. It's that's what Ava does. That's the chashash of Ava. Not just like, they're going to grumble about it. It means, there's actual chashashos of it causing problems. Mikomakom bal nefesh yarchik milismach imayim. If he can get away, it's better for him to go ahead and to not celebrate with them. Im yuchal lasos shelo yiyeh lo eva b'davar. Again, if there's a way he could do it without ava. V'chein im shaleach doron le'ovek kochavim bizman hazeh. Now the girsa in the, I have it in front of me. The girsa in the uncensored Shulchan Aruch says 8 days after Nittel, Shmon Yair Achar Nittel, Shehu Nikra New Year's, that talking about on New Year's. Ve'am sheyesh lahem simin im yagia lahem doron b'chagaru, that it has that, at least back then it was like a good sign for the year if they got a gift on that on New Year's. If it's possible to, and he needs to send it, whatever, he should send it the day before. Because of Ava, he can send it on that day. So nowadays, people, it's not the same thing, but let's say giving out, Xmas bonuses and things or whatever, Mishum Ava, workers and law, whatever. So it would be allowed, but you should try to be machmir not to give these things out on the day of the Chag, to give it out beforehand, and things like that. Or if you have to give office gifts, whatever these things are.
Turns out a lot of women don't like this expression, happy holidays. Why, I said, say happy Hanukkah to you, and you say happy holidays to me?
Yeah, it could be. I don't know. I think Ava is much worse. I think I have to look into Ava more, but I think Ava is not just like they're not happy about it, but I think it can, if it can cause nowadays anything like things can snowball nowadays with the podcast. I don't know what and everything and whatever things can snowball. So yeah, there's a lot more Ava around today than there was let's say 40, 50 years ago. But it's Indian. Kuf Mem Tes. Aleph, Ir Sha'osim Ba Yerid, right? They're making a festival, or Yerid was some sort of festival, carnival. I mean, there was a famous, if you all these chuvas to have the Yidden going to the Yerid in Leipzig. There's a big Yerid in Leipzig. It's a shuk, it's a fair. It's a fair, but here it's more like it's like a festival. B'yom they go, b'yom Chagam. They have these, all these things like South America. It's not very common. They have these like big festivals and different days of like the whole city. I don't know, a lot of places like Rio and other places like that. Not that I went, but Mutter Leila Chutzala. You're allowed to go outside the city.
Carnival also, is that what you're saying?
Oh, probably. There's other ones in Mexico also. Anyway, Carnival I think was originally comes from the word carne. It used to be the place when it used to be the time when they used to execute people, publicly execute people. That's what I remember hearing. But whatever. Montalela chutzala, but also likades b'seicha. Again, nowadays it's a bit different. It's a big city, but maybe you shouldn't go into the areas, the parades and stuff, whatever. But also likades b'seicha, ha'isa chutzala. If the celebration is outside the city, then you're allowed to go into the city. If you're traveling, you should not go through that area or go through that city. If that's the derech, it's like going to the center of, let's say that the parades and the big celebrations in the center of town, and this is the road to the center of town. You shouldn't be going, because it's Marasayan or looks worse, they shouldn't be going through that only road that goes through there. The Hainish ain't ovim oisa le'ir acheres. This is where it's not mafulish, meaning you go on the highway cutting through the city, what's the big deal? But if it's but if this street leads through the center and you have to go through the center and it doesn't lead out, so that people think you're going to the celebration, and that would be an issue. Beis Medra Morim Ba'achsanai. That's talking about someone who's coming from outside the city. About Ben Ir Mutter. If you live there, you're a resident Mutter. V'im Holech B'Shayara Mutter. Or if you're going with traveling with a group, caravan or a bus, whatever it is, then it's obviously you're not going to that, and therefore it's mutter to go in there. Haga Chatzar shel avodas kochavim. A chatzar of a non-Jew, yesh orin the dino ki'ir she'avodas kochavim. Some say it has the same din as a city, that it would be also to enter, obviously, if he worships over there for his own personal.
Chatzar shel avodas kochavim.
Shel what?
Yeah, chatzar shel avodas kochavim, not only kochavim.
Avodas kochavim. Oh, well, like I said.
The worship zone.
Oh, correct. You could say that. Vizman she'eino v'kochavim iskamsim sham. Right, it's a place where they do worship. Fine, you're right. It's in the grounds. Zvan she'eino of the kochavim iskamsim sham. The tarfusa mutu l'kanasham. It's not the actual, building. It's a place where they get together. So then it is mutu to go into the chatzar. The bechol again aser doesn't make a difference. It's always aser. In ein derech overbo nokom acher. If it's not a road which or a path or whatever which goes to a different place. But if the derech goes to somewhere else, you can go through that chatzar to a different place. It's a midas chasidus not to go in there. In yesho derech acheres, if there's a different way. Chatzar kamo, the Sefer Chassidim, they bring the Sefer Chassidim, who says that a person who goes there loses for 30 days his tefillos are not answered, so it's better not to go through there. I know some Kuf Ben Beis, and just to finish off, someone asked a Shaila a question about taking a taxi. Someone Yoel mentioned taking a taxi with an avodah zarah. You're in Eastern countries and they have an avodah zarah on the dashboard and stuff, whatever. So listen, it's the same idea. If he's worshiping it there and things, and I don't know, it's a topic because could be it's just a siman tov. But if he's really actually worshiping it, and he made a little shrine in his taxi, I don't know, whatever, with a pestle, and I don't know. So it could be as a midas chasidus not to go in if you have another way to go. Obviously, if you have to take a taxi because you have to take a taxi, there's no other way to go. So then it is mutter. But if a person could think of a different way, maybe you could go ahead and rent a car, I don't know, whatever it is, take a bus. There's a midas chasidus, to try to be marchik from it because of the tuma. But if there's no other way, then it would be mutter. It would be mutter to go in that taxi, less better. I would think. That's what I would think.
Your own food is actually awesome.
A taxi is not chotzer.